Welcome to another video about the California Gold Rush. We are going to dive into what exactly the 49'ers ate and how much it cost. Both are a bit surprising. 200,000 men migrated to California in the first 3 years of the gold rush. They arrived, usually with only the clothes on their backs and a lack of basic supplies, which meant merchants could mine the miners' wallets and could charge outrageously high prices for their goods. 95% of these 49'ers were men and could not cook. They were used to the woman folk taking care of them back home. The miners had no problem spending extravagantly on their meals when they came into town. A diet of beans and bread up in the hills can do that to a person. San Francisco and other mining towns and cities had plenty of highfalutin, high-class, and high-dollar restaurants ready to lighten the miners' wallets. This early desire for fine food by the miners is what helped San Francisco evolve into one of the world's greatest dining cities. Ice was so highly sought after in these times, Alaskan glaciers were actually leased by the Hudson's Bay Company and shipped to San Francisco in giant chunks to be stored for use in ice boxes, and later sold to the people for exorbitant prices. Because of the high cost of food, there were many first-hand accounts of actual starvation. Only the lucky miners could afford to buy food, most could not. Nutrition, unfortunately, was not on a miner's list of priorities. Many of them suffered greatly from malnutrition and scurvy. Food was usually cooked and baked in either cast iron Dutch ovens or gold pans over an open fire. Some of the usual foods were beans, bacon, coffee, tea, eggs, and whatever else the local general stores and meat markets were offering that week. If a miner couldn't afford such foods at the store, he resorted to hunting and gathering the abundant game, fish, and greens found in the Sierra Nevada. Alcohol was the miners' go-to for drinks, mostly whiskey and beer. The waters were polluted from mining. Diarrhea, cholera, and dysentery were usually contracted by anyone foolish enough to drink any of the local creek water. Can you imagine if they had Red Bull? Some of the local game they ate was not limited to, but included bear, rabbit, snakes, fish, turtles, wild turkey, doves, and even squirrels and rodents. Blackberries are abundant in this area, and the miners made the most of them. Some of the women who were here made loads of money making pies and selling them to the miners. Wild onions are also pretty prevalent here. They were used along with wild mushrooms to season the drab fare of the miner. Any miner that stumbled upon a beehive was greatly elated to have a sweet flavor to savor. Honey was treasured then, as it is still today. Chocolate was very rare, and it was actually kept in safes. In 1852, an Italian chocolatier named Domenico Ghirardelli opened a tent-based store in Stockton. Offering not only chocolate and other sugary confections, they offered mining supplies to the miners. This was so successful, he opened a store in San Francisco, where it still remains extremely popular to this day. Sourdough bread is another of those iconic Gold Rush-era foods, especially in San Francisco. It became a staple food of the Gold Rush. A miner would buy a loaf in the morning and eat from it slowly, all day long. The Boudin family came from France and started a bakery that helped put San Francisco on the sourdough map. The legend has it that they have used the same exact starter since 1849. Even through the 1906 earthquake, a bucket of the starter was able to be saved. The bread line is linked through history in every loaf. Some interesting names of specific dishes that were served up include Hangtown fry, turpentine stew, and Yankee beans. For dessert, already mentioned, was blackberry pie, apple pie, tapioca pudding, and pound cake. Most were very tart as sugar was extremely expensive and used very sparingly. Food prices. Do you think food is expensive in California today? Check out these ridiculous prices from the gold rush era. You may think after this that our food is not that bad today. One slice of bread, $1, $2 if buttered. That's about $56 today. Chicken eggs were $1 each also. Some would hunt for other birds' eggs instead of coughing up a whole dollar for one egg. A typical breakfast served up at a local chow hall consisted of bread, butter, sardines, and 2 bottles of beer. It cost $43. That's $1,200 today. Beef was about $10 per pound. That's about $275 per pound today. Butter was $20 per pound. That's about $550 per pound today. Flour was $13 per bag. That's about $360 today. Coffee beans were 15 cents per pound. That's about $4 in today's money. Coffee beans cost much more now, with some specialty beans being worth nearly $30 per pound. Rice was $8 per pound. That's about $220 today per pound. Oranges were in high demand. They cost 15 cents each. That's about $4 today for one orange. Possibly the most ridiculously priced food was cheese. It sold in 1851 for $25 per pound. That is $700 per pound in today's prices. These men worked so hard. They needed fuel to keep the gold fever going. It's no surprise that the people with the chow halls and saloons made most of the money and gold in those days. Most just ate what they could scrounge up near their diggings. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the California Gold Rush history. Links to help support this channel are in the description. Comment Eureka if you watched until the end. Thanks for watching.